Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of the shooting show, and you'll recognize my lovely wife, Heather, who was able to come down today. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's good to be here. I've missed all of you.
Well, we appreciate everyone who's asked about Heather, and of course her work schedule is pretty tough, and it's very difficult for her to do pieces on the program right now. We're hoping that'll change in the future. We have a beautiful autumn day out here, friends, and you know, this is another one of those very important shows. Every program that we do now is a very, very important program because it could be our last show on the air for a while. And we're just doing it week to week. We're doing the best we can, and we appreciate all of you who have supported us. If we can get on again next week, we're going to be back on G6 Channel 11. If we can get back on next week, I hope we can. Right now we can't, but maybe by next week we can. I flatly don't know. But we're going to treat this as if it could be our very last program for a while. And we're going to be showing you something that in truth we weren't ready to show, but I think it'll be okay. I talked to the judge about it, and he suggested showing you the experimental gun that we've been working on for a while. And more than an experimental gun, we have invented, certainly I've invented, a new cartridge. It is sort of in a class by itself, friends. We've never seen anything that does what this cartridge does. It literally makes a 1911 into essentially a 4-inch 44 Magnum with about half the recoil. It's the darndest thing any of us have ever seen, and we're going to need some help because you know what? And we'll be talking about this later in the show. We're going to show this, and we'll talk about it now. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But a lot of folks out there, of course I'm borrowed out, but everything I have had been able to get together and borrow has been put in this project. But a lot of folks out there have been reluctant to help us. Why? Because they figured they don't know if they get their money back, which
they
really,
don't know if they're going to be up next week.
That's right, exactly.
But we're
right.
here.
But we're here today. That's right. But we've hit on something here that we think is going to sell really well if we can develop it here on the program. Develop our cartridges. We've got a couple of working guns already. We have this 1911, this great Kimber, and yes, it does have a compensator. There's a reason for that, but that's part of the package. But we're hopeful that maybe someone out there, or several someones, might think about loaning the project a little money, because if we could make $100 per gun on the semi-automatic packages, if we could retail and make $100 and we sold 1,000 guns, that's $100,000. That would more than carry this project for the entire year of next year alone, just the gun sales themselves, if we can do it. And we need to put together about $10,000 that we don't have, but somebody out there might be willing to get in on this, because this will sell, because it's a concept that has never been done. I came up with this idea probably a year and a half ago probably, and we explored it and finally got around to developing it. We want to thank the good people. Richard Binkowski at the Kimber Custom Shop has been a big help. Also our friends at Clark Custom Guns have also helped.
Clark's have been terrific.
Yes, they have. And we've come up with a package that nobody's ever seen anything like. And we'll be talking about that and showing this a little later in the program. We actually have some excerpts from last. Does it sound like I'm hurrying?
No,
it probably
well.
I am, because we have last week's show that we didn't get to show you, which we think was a darn good program.
Excellent.
Because between Federal Express and a mix-up at the uplink, we didn't get our shows delivered on time. So we're going to show part of what we would have showed you last week, but we got some things we need to talk about. You know, friends, right now we can still own guns, and as we're taping this, we have checked with a number of dealers around the country on how the NICS check is going. And you know, there are hunters who are walking into gun shops, and you know what they're saying? They're saying, "You mean I can't get my gun today?"
Yes, they are.
Why can't this is a rifle? I can't get my gun. Nobody told me. Guess what?
On my way to work this morning, they said it was taking several hours to a couple of days.
To a couple of days to buy a 22 single-shot rifle or shotgun.
Retailers are losing sales.
Of course, that's part of the plan. The folks in the nice people in Washington, in the Clinton administration, and Miss Sarah Brady, who have brought you this night, and the National Rifle Association.
Now that brings up another point.
Oh yeah, and the nice people at the National Rifle Association, along with Handgun Control, Sarah Brady, along with Bill, Slick Willie, the conquistador of Washington, Clinton, they have brought us the Brady bill. This is not Brady 2, friends. No, 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 no. This is not Brady 2. This is part of the original Brady bill. And remember, and Neil Knox was on our radio show, and some people, there's a few folks out there that have gotten angry at me for criticizing the NRA. Okay, I have recorded testimony from Neil Knox, who was at the board meeting. Wayne LaPierre came to the board and said if they didn't support his stand on passing the Brady bill and getting it through, that he was going to resign on the spot. Now that's Wayne LaPierre, who is the head, essentially.
It's a pity that he didn't resign.
Wish he would have.
Yeah.
But some of you go ahead and get mad at me. Look, I'm not making the news, I'm just reporting it.
That's right.
That's what happened. And now the National Rifle Association has come up. They're going to sue the government because they're keeping records. Now wait a minute, friends, wait a minute. Do you think that if the government gets its hands on the records of what gun you bought, even if they said they're going to destroy the records, do we really think they would? Let's get real here. Do you trust the FBI, the Clinton FBI? Used to trust the FBI years ago, but now the Clinton FBI, you trust Janet Reno, the Justice Department? Do you trust the IRS? What federal agency do you trust? So the NRA, I figure membership is down. I figure we talk to people all over the country. We're not the only ones angry at the NRA's antics. There are people all over America that are mad, and I figure they filed suit now to stop the FBI from retaining your record. Okay.
Is this what you call a smoke screen?
I would say it's a smoke screen because they need to do something to appear like they're doing something. Well, friends, that won't cut it with us. I think, to me, it's just ridiculous. The leadership of the NRA, as far as I'm concerned, cannot be trusted when you have people, there wouldn't even be a Brady bill if they had thought it, if they had stood up like they were supposed to. And that's why we've started our own shooting association.
It doesn't matter what we think. The record stands that the NRA participated with the government to write the Brady bill.
And it's hard. A lot of people out there are in denial over this NRA thing. They can't, well, I just can't believe those nice NRA people, they wouldn't lie to me. Well, they have. They have lied to you. They have lied to you. And here we are with the Brady bill, with the Nix check. Now, let me tell you what. A lot of people say, well, this is Brady 2. It is not Brady 2. Brady 2 is waiting in the wings, and let me tell you what some of the little things they have planned in Brady 2. You're going to have an arsenal license if you have over 1,000 rounds of ammo. Well, like Leroy Scott said, heck, that's almost being unarmed. Under $20 of 22 long rifle ammunition bought from Walmart or some other discount store, less than $20 of 22 long rifle ammunition
qualifies as an arsenal.
That's exactly right.
That's ridiculous.
You'll have to get a license, friend.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. There are other things allowed in Brady 2, like home inspections, like they can come in your house without a search warrant. Now, those nice people from the ATF, and I'm not bad-mouthing all the ATF
agents. It says in our constitutional rights that they're not allowed to barge into our home.
Well, it's supposed to. It says a lot of things in the Constitution that are being flatly overlooked right now, friends. And we can do something about it, but the only way we can do something about it is to let more people know. That's why we have tried so hard to stay on television, and we've been here these 8 years somehow. I can't show you on paper how we've done it, but I just know we've been here, and we're here again today. If you're watching this program, we're here one more time. I don't know about next week, but that's why we're really hopeful about our new cartridge, because we're going to have the semi-automatic pistol. We're going to have the Ruger Black Hawk revolver. It looks like we're going to have the Smith & Wesson 625, the 45 ACP converted to our new cartridge for the shooting show, the Rowland cartridge. And we've got a name for it, but we're just going to hold because we've got to get in manufacture. We're going to be selling brass. It's going to be available. We've probably got about a year to sell these guns because there are other manufacturers that will start the chamber for it.
They'll jump on the bandwagon and they'll want to make a profit.
That's true. But we've got about a year. Typically, the gun industry is so slow to catch on. It'll take them a year to catch it. But that's okay. This means we've got about a year to take advantage of this. This, friends, could put our whole project back on firm footing. It could keep us on the air. Even if we go off the air, we're still going to try, and I know we can. We can sell this project. It looks like we're going to have 2 revolvers, 1 semi-automatic pistol, and looks like 1 rifle. 1 rifle. Can't say what it is, but we'll show you. Going to show you a little bit today. Can't say what it is, but it is great, friends. We've never seen a cartridge do what this thing does.
It is phenomenal.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Okay. we want to talk about a couple of other things on today's program, and we'll get to it as rapidly as we can. But let me tell you what, friends, right now, I talked to the Nix Center in Virginia the other day myself. I had to enroll as an FFL holder, and they were very polite. They were very nice. I'll give them that. And the system has not worked out. But you know what? I figure that they're going to be real nice here in the beginning, and then 6 months from now, right now, if you're a convicted felon, or you've been a convicted felon, or you've been convicted of some kind of domestic violence, and see, nobody agrees with domestic violence, but a lot of police officers. Now, wait a minute. They're making an exception for some police and military. Whoa. Whoa, wait, whoa.
Well, there's been exceptions made for Bill Clinton and his testimony for the grand jury in comparison to other citizens.
I guess if you're a government official or you work for the government, it doesn't matter what you've done, huh? Well, what about us as citizens? We're not supposed to be subjects here. But your United Nations, your global union, your socialist government in Washington is trying to do this, friends. And what they're trying to do, at some point, they're going to tighten the screws. Right now, if there are certain conditions you can't own a gun. Well, before too long, it might be people with red hair can't own guns. Or you're not approved if you have red hair, maybe if you have blue eyes or brown eyes.
Wait a minute. Talking about selectiveness, wasn't there just an article printed somewhere about Ted Turner saying that 350,000 people a day need to be eliminated?
I can't give the exact quote on that. However, that's one of the, let me add to that, that's one of these globalist folks that Ted Turner and his group subscribe to, about we say we have overpopulation and they're earth worshipers. Now, Ted Turner is a lot of things, and most of them you and I would not appreciate, but he feels like only the smart people should control the earth. And he assumes he and Janie are the smart people. Well, you know, friends, that's a dangerous philosophy, because you know who else thought that?
Hitler.
Adolf Hitler thought that. He said, Adolf Hitler says, hey, he's smarter than everybody else. He ought to be in charge.
Yep.
And then he went about killing 6 million Jews for fun, because he thought it made their climate better. All right? There are others. That's the philosophy, friend, your New World Order, your global union. You see, these people in their ivory towers have deified themselves. They have bestowed upon themselves the title of, they're smarter than you and I and Heather and all the rest of us. They know best. Well, you know what? I don't think they do. And you know what else? As long as we're armed as civilians, they can't ever have their police state. They can't have their socialist paradise where all of us little people are told what to do, where to go, what to say.
And how long we can live.
And how long we can live. That's right, because when you're no longer useful to the socialist system, they just kill you. That's what they do. It's not a big deal to the socialists. Now, friends, that's what we're facing. And that's why we've tried so hard to stay on television, because this is the only place on television that you see this message. You know, if we would tone our message down, if we would just be nice and retiring, and say, well, we don't want to make the anti-gun people mad. We don't. Somebody might criticize us.
We don't want the government upsetting the apple cart with our business.
We don't want anybody to get mad at us, and maybe they'd cut off our welfare check or whatever else, our subsidy check. No, we don't. We don't. But then there are a lot of businesses that do. You know, a lot of government, a lot of professions that get government assistance and all, and people are afraid. A lot of gun companies right now. Colt is
the gun
a company that is well, they're doing. They want to stay in the government's good graces. That's why they want to make an electronic gun. You wear a little wrist bracelet and you have a little battery. Well, they don't tell you what happens if your battery goes dead. And got a chip that controls the gun. You know, that's what they're working on. They're proud of that. I think they ought to be ashamed of themselves. They ought to be here in America. A gun maker in America is something they should be proud of being. They shouldn't be proud of cooperating with a socialist government. They should not be proud of it. That's where we are. Now, friends, I don't know if we can stay on or not. But you know what? I know if we can sell some of these guns, we can stay on. I know if we can sell this cartridge concept, we can stay on. And we sincerely, if you can help the shooting show stay on the air, if you can contribute to, if you can join our Gun Owner Rights Association, $50 for an annual membership, $300 for a life membership, because if we don't change it, $300 is going to last longer than annual memberships on how long we have guns anyway. If you want to help, if you're not afraid, if you want to make a stand for your rights, for us as Americans, as still free Americans. Well, you can send whatever you can to the shooting show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. If you can join our support group, we have a new, in fact, we have a new company in our support group this week. I want to mention them now. It's Little River Trading Post. They're in, and I don't have the number in front of me, but they're in Kentucky. And a lot of folks out there participate in the Civil War reenactments and things, and some of that memorabilia and equipment is hard to find. And the Little River Trading Post, they specialize in Confederate memorabilia, and so you can get, if you need uniforms or anything that from the Confederacy side, we'll give their number a little bit later, and you can give them a call. They've got a neat catalog. Like I said, they're specializing in Confederate stuff. Other companies specialize in Union equipment, and they specialize in Confederate equipment, which is not that easy to find. So anyway, we appreciate them. If you can join our support group, please help us if you can, friends. We're not going to quit. Even if we go off the air, you can count on it. We're not going to quit. And we'll be showing our cartridge concept just a little bit later. Maybe you can help us with our cartridge, because if we could make $100,000, and it's doable. This is a doable deal.
It's a doable.
It absolutely. It's going to set handgun on its ear. It's going to be certainly a gun that we're going to be selling kits. If you have a 1911, whether it's a Kimber or a Springfield or a Colt or whatever else, if you have a 1911, we're going to have a kit. We've even got a retail price on the kit, just about. I think looks like it's going to be $329 for the kit, so you can shoot our new cartridge, or you can shoot the standard 45. You can go back and forth by just changing out the barrel. So it's really a neat concept. And trust me, this 45 does what no other 1911.
Are you going to show them today what that cartridge will do?
I think so. We're going to try and get it on. But in fact, we have. Let's start today's program. We did some bowling with our another cartridge we came up with, the 45 Schofield Colt, the 45 double action Colt, built by our good friends at Georgia Arms, and we have a special load. In fact, let's start today's program. Let's do a little bowling with that big 45 revolver. How about, let's do that now. Let's see how well this gun holds up to bowling. Wouldn't you call that a strike? See, we may have a whole new sport here. I'll tell you what, this 45 Ruger is, I think, be a great bowling gun.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Friends, here it is. This is the great Georgia Arms 45 DA
Colt or double action Colt cartridge. This is the first major improvement on the Colt 45 since 1873. They have this in loaded cowboy ammunition. They're also selling brass, so you can load your own combinations. This cartridge case is absolutely a joy to work with. We're even seeing improved accuracy, we think due to the slightly larger rim on our 45 DA Colt case. You can get a free catalog, or you can order these from Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861 for their entire lineup, and please tell them you saw it here on our show. Now friends, of course, the cowboy load is mild but super accurate. And of course, you can take your hand loads up to the limit of what the loading manuals will allow. The great 45 double action Colt cartridge from Georgia Arms. Give them a call today, friends. A free phone call with a free catalog.
And of course, Georgia Arms also makes the finest line of rifle ammunition and other handgun ammunition, everything from the 357 SIG to the 454 Casull to the 357 Magnum 9mm 40S, and whatever you want to talk about. They have the best line available. And you know, friends, nobody really knows what the Clintons and the Bradys are going to do. They may start on ammunition next. You may have to get permission from some agency to buy ammo. Right now, you don't have to do that. You can call Georgia Arms, get a free catalog, and see their great product lineup. And please remember to tell them you saw it on our show.
Now, friends, we're going to show you our cartridge, because we just about have to, because we may not be on again next week. It may be some time, and we need your help on this. One, this is certainly going to be the shooting show of the Rowland cartridge, and we will have information out. The title and all. We're going to show you what it does. Here we have a regular 45 ACP, and let's go ahead and shoot through our chronograph. I'm going to show you the differences here on what we're talking about. Let's do that right now. Okay, friends, a 230 grain bullet at about 785 to 800 feet per second. That is pretty much a standard 45 ACP load. Now then, friends, let's take our converted Kimber here, and this is again my cartridge that I've developed, and we're being real careful about this because some companies have taken suggestions and ideas that I've had, like some of you. It's happened to a lot of us, and they've taken our ideas, they've made a lot of money on it, and you and I didn't get any credit at all. And in fact, there's one company in particular that has made a bunch of money off an idea they got from me. Well, this one, we want to make some money for the project. This could keep us on the air, and it'll be a great thing for any shooting enthusiast. Now then, let's shoot our new cartridge. We have 785 feet per second, which is anywhere from 800 to 830 or 40 feet per second, which we normally see in a 45 ACP. We'll take a look at the chronograph when we shoot our new cartridge through this 1911 with our special conversion package. Okay, 1,539 feet per second. Now, friends, we'll show you more in a moment, but it's fantastic performance. That's with a 185 grain jacketed hollow point. Let's shoot. We've got 4 loads developed for it. We've got a 200 grain bullet. Let's shoot the 200 next and see what it does in the chronograph. Okay, we're talking about 1,431 feet per second with a 200 grain bullet. And now let's try our 230 grain bullet, which you see about 800 or so feet per second. Let's look at the chronograph again. 1,322 feet per second with a 230 grain bullet. And now, friends, let's try our defense load, which is a 185 grain bullet. In this gun, it kicks like a hot 9mm, but let's see how fast it runs. A 185. Let's see. Let's go to our chronograph. Okay, 1,367. My goodness, friends, you realize that's well over 700, closer to 750 foot-pounds of muzzle energy from our light-kicking defense load. Well, friends, here's a regular 45 ACP. Let's watch recoil. in it. We'll run about 4 or 5 shots through it rapidly. Watch it in my hands. Little recoil, 5 shots. Now then, let's run some of our, and we're talking about 350 or so foot-pounds of muzzle energy. I think we got 5 in the magazine. Now let's take our special gun here with our cartridge, with the defense load over twice the power of a 45 ACP. Watch this. See, recoil is negligible. I mean, just not even enough to worry about. And each time you press that trigger, it's over 700 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. You can shoot it much faster than you can a 357 Magnum. And now then, let's do one other thing. Let's go ahead and let's run 5 of our hot loads, the ones that run over 1,500, about 950 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Let's let you see that. We got 5 loaded, I think. Here we go. Wasn't bad. Now friends, what we have done here, we have essentially turned a 1911 semi-automatic pistol power-wise into a 4-inch 44 Magnum revolver. In fact, I can't get the power out of a 4-inch 41 or even a 44 that we can out of our new cartridge. And friends, recoil is like half. I mean, it feels like about half as much. I can't shoot a 44 Magnum as rapidly, anything like. Well, we'll time it if we get a chance a little later. But it is very shootable. Let me show you something else. We converted a Ruger Blackhawk into our cartridge here. And let's shoot a couple of the 900, shoot 3 actually, 950 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. This is 185 grain bullet running over 1,500 feet per second, even from this 4 5/8 inch revolver. It's fantastic. Now watch this. Normally, we would think this revolver would be recoiling over our head. Let's see what it does. $950 foot-pounds of energy per shot. This is why we're so amazed with this thing. And look, cases literally just fall out. Look at there. No signs of pressure whatsoever. We have pressure figures and they're safe. Look at there, just fall out. So we can convert. This is part of our deal. When we're going to have factory ammunition in the not too distant future. These will be for sale in the not too distant future. We're going to have complete guns. We're going to have guns with the 45 ACP and the new conversion cartridge. It's not going to call it a 45. It's not a 45. It's not like anything that anybody has used before. But all you'll need to do will be change barrels. Takes about 5 minutes. You can go back to shooting your regular 45 if you want to, and then you can use our cartridge if you want the power. Jim Clark was telling me the other day we have our 230 grain bullets here. Again, 44 Magnum power, 230 grain bullets running about 1,300 out of this little gun, and the little Rugers are so light anyway. Mr. Clark said, you know, this would be a great gun for a fisherman in Alaska because you have the 230 grain. You can use the 230 grain full metal jacket bullet, and you punch a hole in a bear's head. Watch the bowling pin out there. Now, friends, those of you that know something about bowling pins know that they're difficult to knock off. And you see, it just kind of this thing just kind of picks them up and carries them. Well, realize we're talking about an energy level that has never been available and so easy to shoot, and in one of these smaller guns. That's what it's about. You know, certainly you can equal this thing in a long barrel 44 Magnum, but it's never been equaled in a small package with low recoil. That's what so many people feel about one of the large Grizzlies, which are fine guns, but they're big guns, have a lot of recoil. and for that matter, the size of the revolvers that it takes to get real power. Well, now for the first time, we have power levels available in compact guns that we've never had.
Stay tuned for more of the shooting show. We'll be right back.
The Shooting Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. And we want to mention the good folks at Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana, one of the most complete gun shops in the entire United States. They do all sorts of things like this specialty meltdown on this new STI gun. Also, they have an excellent staff of people to help you with guns such as these Benelli Super Black Eagles, taking 3.5-inch magnums, a complete line of handguns, semi-automatics, revolvers, all sorts of neat things in the shop there. And of course, here's Mr. Jim Clark himself out helping a customer, some of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. They have a complete line of loading supplies, loading tools, gunpowder, you name it, primers, all sorts of accessories for your guns, whatever you might need, certainly within reason. Here's Kay Clark Michalik when she's not winning championships, back working there in the office. And here's her husband, Jerry Michalik, the fastest revolver shooter in the world, when he's not winning championships at work. Here's Jim Clark Jr. back on the lathe, the same drill, when he's not winning championships, working right there in the shop. That's why you can get such complete quality of product and expertise here at Clark Custom Guns. Friends, give them a call today, area 318-949-9884. They have a great catalog. We appreciate them supporting our project.
Now, some of you might be saying, well, what in the world, we want a bullet, somewhere around a .45 caliber bullet running 1,500 feet per second. Wouldn't it be terribly over-penetrative, or even 1350? Well, let's do a little demonstration on that. We have a couple of water bottles over here back to back, and we have some bowling pins behind them as a little brace just to keep them up there together. And let's watch what happens when we shoot this 1,500 feet per second bullet into those water bottles. Watch this. Now, friends, you see it just literally shredded the first water bottle. But look here. Of course, it blew up the second, but guess what? Our bullet is completely, let's see, our bullet is completely expanded and did not go through the second water bottle because of the breakup and expansion of that bullet. So we don't have over penetration unless we want a bullet style that will penetrate. Now let's say we want penetration. Maybe we want to stop that bear that may be chasing us on the lake up there or the river in Alaska. Maybe we need penetration. So let's take a landscape timber, very tough, treated lumber, several inches thick, and let's lean it up against this water bottle right here. Get it where it'll stay. And let's shoot the landscape timber and see what happens. Got one of our full metal jacket loads here. All right, let's take a look, friends. Clear through the landscape timber, in and out, all the way through, in and definitely out on the water bottle. So see, we have tremendous penetration if we so desire. Just for fun, since we're here, let's see what our new cartridge, our new Rowland cartridge does to. Let's try concrete blocks with our high-powered load. Let's see what happens, just to show the power that this thing has. Quite a bit, actually. Now then, let's try another block with our deer hunting load, which will probably be the 200 grain bullet at about 1400 or so, 1440. See how the block fares with it. Now, friends, you can tell why I'm so excited about this cartridge concept. We have a special package, quite a bit of engineering has gone into this, and thanks to all our friends. And of course, I've worked real hard on this for quite some time, and it is very durable. Certainly, these guns are very rugged, and we engineered it so it won't destroy the gun. So it is certainly safe, super accurate. We've been getting groups of 1.5 inches all the way down to, with one of the loads we tried, slightly under 1 inch with this custom package here. And these guns are going to be reasonably priced. They're not going to be outrageous in cost. They're going to be reasonably priced. So my whole point here is, if you would like to help on our cartridge concept, we need to put together about $10,000 to do it, and that will buy a large number of cases. That'll get us started in loading. It will do our promotion for us. If you'd like to help, we certainly need your help. And as Leroy Scott, hopefully he'll be on the program a little later today, we'll talk about it briefly, but it is just a fantastic cartridge. 44 Magnum power in very compact, very shootable guns. Again, it feels like about half the recoil. I tell you, let's just load one up just for fun. Here is a comparable 44 Magnum load, and let's take our let's just take one of the energy-wise, these are very close. Let's take one of the 230 grain. These are running 1300 in this little Black Hawk, and let's just look at them. These are comparable loadings. Here's our full-size Super Black Hawk 44 Magnum. Watch it in my hands. Now watch what it does. Okay, quite a bit of recoil muzzle blast. Look at our little Black Hawk. Theoretically, kick would be much more than in the bigger gun. Watch. See that? It's unbelievable. And none of us are exactly sure why, but we just know it works. And this is something that I think a lot of people are going to want. We're looking at our conversion for the Black Hawks, and it looks good on the Smith & Wesson 625 revolver. Then you can load with full moon clips. You can shoot your 45 ACP or come with a new cartridge. We just have to chamber for it. So, and the good news is all the loading equipment you have now, if you have 45 ACP loading equipment, you'll be able to use it. It's very simple to just take some different adjustments. And I'll tell you what, friends, it's going to be inexpensive. There's no other package like this. There's no other cartridge that we're aware of that has the capabilities this thing does. And if you'd like to help on the new Rowland cartridge, And the reason we're calling it the Rowland cartridge is, doggone it, we're not going to let some big company, because I'm sure some of the larger companies will start chambering for it. You'll see some gun companies chambering, and this way they can't take it away from us. At least it's going to have my name on it, so they'll know where, the people that buy it will know where it originated, and that will help our project. That will help our whole television project. So, friends, if you'd like to help on it, well, please give us a call. Let's talk about it, because I don't know if we'll be on again next week, but we wanted you to see this before we possibly went off the air. And it's just, like I say, it's just phenomenal. All right, friends, we have a jacketed high-velocity 45 automatic. It's going to break our water bottle. Let's see what it does. Hey, it broke it. But now let's take our new cartridge. Let's just use the little Black Hawk this time. Go ahead and chamber this gun here. Let's see how that same diameter bullet looks moving 1,500 feet per second. Looks a little different, doesn't it?
Stay tuned for more of the shooting show. We'll be right back.
The Shooting Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Friends, you're looking at two of the finest semi-automatic handguns ever built by any factory. These are great Kimbers, a full-size blue model, and the stainless compact. Now, you can get any of these Kimbers from us, or if you find one in your local gun shop, trust me, these are the finest 1911s, the finest semi-automatic pistols ever built by a factory. They are very reasonably priced. If you'd like to get a wholesale Kimber from us, if you're a dealer, you can give us a call or write to us at our Shooting Show address, or certainly one of the Shooting Show guns. They make several different styles, including a polymer frame wide gun or wide body gun. But whatever your choice may be, please give us a call, or please take a look at the Kimber next time you're in your local gun shop. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we certainly appreciate you being here with us. You'll recognize this fine gentleman on my right, none other than Leroy Scott himself. Judge, how you doing?
Well, sort of poorly after my accident.
Well, he had a little traffic mishap out there in Las Vegas, but it looks like you survived it pretty well, huh?
I survived it. I'm wondering what my insurance company's going to do.
Well, we're so glad that you made it back safely. That was kind of scared us when we heard that you'd had an unfortunate traffic accident out there in Las Vegas, but thankfully you don't look any worse for wear. But I tell you, we appreciate you coming down here today. You know, we're getting reports in the newspapers on the NICS check. It's not going that well so far, is it, Judge? A lot of hunters are upset. We've only been telling them that this was coming for how many years? For a while.
4 or 5 years.
Anyway, that you and I have been telling them, and it's here now. So, friends, we're going to lose everything, going to lose this entire battle unless more people get involved. And, you know, we're trying to stay on television to get more people involved, and in fact, that's why we're so enthused about our new cartridge, which in fact the Judge is holding one there. In our guns, this great Kimber. It's compact, but it is potent. So, you know, we were talking earlier. Remember the gun, the Automag that Dirty Harry
used in sudden impact. That was, for some of you who might, we're approximating the performance of the Automag, 44 Automag, in this much smaller.
But you're actually exceeding the performance of a 44 Magnum, aren't you?
In this size gun. In this size gun, we actually are exceeding 44 Magnum performance with half the recoil. So we hope to have this thing on sale in time for the Shooting Hunting Outdoor Trade Show in February, the first week of February, but we need a little help to do it. We need to come up, it's going to cost about $10,000 to develop or certainly get the marketing done on the cartridge, get the cases purchased and everything, so we can load commercial ammunition. We're going to have, looks like, 4 guns available for it. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Well, we're going to have the 1911, these great Kimbers, chambered for it. We plan to have the Ruger Blackhawks that, and if you've already got a Ruger Blackhawk with the 45 ACP cylinder, see, we think we're going to be able to chamber that with no problems whatsoever. Probably the 625 Smith & Wesson, and very possibly a carbine, a rifle, which will be the best police rifle, best home defense rifle anybody's ever come with. But we need your help to do it. Now, judges, you and I were talking the other day. If someone could loan our project some money, huh?
You need about $10,000, Johnny.
Well, if we sell 1,000 of these guns, which is a doable number, because this is exciting. I mean, there's nothing else out there like that. And plus, we'll have conversion kits. If somebody has a Colt or a Springfield or something, we can convert it to our new caliber. And then they can also, they can take their 45 barrel, they can shoot 45 ammo. Now, this will not chamber in a regular 45 automatic for safety reasons. It's much, much higher pressure, extreme high performance. And then the semi-automatics must have this compensator. This is what makes them so easy to shoot well. And we're going to offer this, though, as a kit, and it's a really good situation.
How many of the guns will you have to sell to make the $10,000?
Well, about 100 guns.
That's not many.
That's really about, heck, we ought to sell that many a month once we get going, once we get started. And Leroy Scott is my witness. If we get this underway, I mean, we'll get that $10,000 paid back plus some interest probably. And sir, you will attest to that, won't you?
I'll attest to it. If you can sell 100 guns, and I don't see any reason on earth why you wouldn't sell 100 guns that are giving you 44 Magnum performance at half the recoil and lower price.
Well, that's true too. And I think we'll sell 1,000 guns. If we sold 1,000 guns, it may take us a year to do it, but sell 1,000 guns, not counting the conversion kits, not counting rechambering the revolvers. That's probably going to run about $99, rechambering the revolvers. If we sell 1,000 guns, that's $100,000. We can make $100 a gun. Now, wait a minute, friends. That will carry our program, more than carry it for a year. And, you know, a lot of great things could happen along that way. We can, our Gun Owner Rights Association can gain some momentum. So this is a real shot that's doable, don't you think, Judge?
I think it's doable, Johnny, and you're going to have to, it's doable because you're going to need somebody or bodies that will loan you $10,000.
Well, if we had 4 people with $2,500, see, that would work. Every what combination, but because we have to buy the first run of brass, or cartridge brass, and there are some promo costs involved in this that we simply don't have. But this ought to be the cartridge gun combination of 1999. It ought to be, because there is nothing of everything we've ever seen, everything we've ever shot. There's nothing that even approaches this as far as what it does. And you saw the demonstration earlier on the program, and that's no baloney. You come down to the house, we'll go out and shoot it. And Jim Clark is very excited about this cartridge and gun concept. In fact, Mr. Clark certainly was a guiding hand in how I put this thing together. Some of his suggestions were very helpful. So that's where we are, friends. If you can help us, if you'd like to, because we're fighting for survival here. That's what we're trying to do. We want to stay on the air. Even if we go off the air, if we can sell this concept, we can make money and get back on the air and do more good. So our shooting show address, if you want to call us and talk to it or give us a note, something, write a note or whatever, Our address, The Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. Our phone number, 318-377-5189. So we need the help. I mean,
well, Johnny, you need to have people identify what they're doing too.
That's true.
If they're sending some money for a loan to get this thing on the air, to work it out, it needs to be so identified. Otherwise, it could be just a donation to try to keep your show going.
That's true. So if you'd like to loan us some money, loan the project some money, just put on their loan, and certainly we'll talk to you about it. We'll have your check, and we'll talk to you. And hey, friends, we're trying. I don't know if we'll be here next week or not. Right, today we don't have the money to be on next week, but hey, we're trying to survive. This has to be done. Look what has happened to us as gun owners. Look at the regulation that's come. This next check's just the beginning, isn't it, Judge?
Oh, I think it's just the beginning. And the National Rifle Association hasn't helped any by fighting the Smith Amendment.
That's really true. So, friends, here we are today, and please, please, you've got our mailing address. If we're not here next week, you've got our address, you've got our phone number. If someone or somebodies can help us on this cartridge concept, please do, because we're not going to quit. We're absolutely not going to quit.
Well, that'll be a proprietary cartridge too, Howard. Johnny. So that'll something you'll have an exclusive on for at least a year.
Probably so. Probably a year. So, friends, do what you can. Now, friends, this is really an interesting combination here. This is the Savage over and under. It's a 30-30 on the top barrel and a 12-gauge shotgun on the bottom barrel. Let's discuss it just a little and take a look at it. Now, friends, what we're looking at here is a Savage Model 24. It is a break open action, just like an over and under shotgun, and you have literally your choice. It is a selective fire gun as far as which one you want to fire. This is one of the better ideas out there, and you don't see many of these guns. Savage makes a terrific line of guns. They make some of the most accurate rifles money can buy, period, and very, very reasonably priced. And this is such a neat idea for a deer hunter, someone who can, if you can hunt in your area with a rifle. One, you can have buckshot for an up-close shot, and we'll take a look at a group we shot a little bit earlier with the rifle barrel, and the shotgun barrel has interchangeable choke tubes. The folks at Clark Custom Guns were nice enough to loan us this gun for testing today. We really appreciate their efforts, and this one is on sale. These are somewhat hard to find. You have an arrangement here where you can fit a scope on the gun. It has a pretty good open sights as it is, but they're asking $299 for this particular one. That's our shooting show price. That's reduced from the list price they have it at, but $299 for this Savage Model 24. You need to talk to Matt. If you'd like to have it, talk to Matt. He's off on Mondays. He'll be there Tuesday through Saturday. So anyway, the way you manipulate it here, you have a crossbolt safety. We'll look at this a little closer, but the way you choose which barrel you want, you cock the hammer and you move the firing pin. The firing pin moves there. And let's just see, this is such a neat idea. I tell you, it's one of those things that, let's see, back is for the rifle and forward is for the shotgun. Let's see what kind of recoil it has in my hands anyway. We'll go ahead and put our shotgun charge in, then we'll load our 30-30 rifle. Incidentally, the 30-30 is limited with its performance because of the round nose bullets you must use for tubular magazines. But you see, in a single shot like this, or the Thompson Center Contender, you can use one of the massive number of 30 caliber rifle bullets that are pointed, spar pointed, and get much better long range performance with a single shot gun, simply because you don't have to worry about a tip of a bullet hitting the primer of the one in front of it. So that is certainly an option here. Let's go ahead and shoot it. We'll get our rifle barrel first here, and let's see if it has the recoil. We have a 30-30 cartridge, 150 grain bullet. Let's watch it in my hands today and see what happens. Heck, not even enough recoil to even worry about. It has a nice recoil pad. And let's go ahead and shoot our shotgun. Push our selector down there, and yeah, has a little more recoil as a shotgun, but I'll tell you what, it's not bad. It's a very lightweight gun. Let's look at how it works.
Now friends, looking at the gun, you see this cross bolt safety? The hammer cannot go forward if this safety is in place. Now, it's very easily just to push it off. See, this is fire, that's on safe. And you just push here and look at the arrangement. We have 2 fired shells, and you have an extractor here. It doesn't throw the shells out, but here's your 30-30, and here's your 12-gauge shotgun. Isn't that neat? What a combination. Very strong, has a pretty good trigger on it. And you can see, of course, you just close it. You can mount a scope on it if you so desire. It has pretty good sights on it. Let's take a look at the group it shot. Now, friends, my aim point was here. This is at 100 yards, and see, this is about a 2.5-inch group with those open sights. There's in fact, a little bit less, looks like, than 2.5 inches. So with just the open sights, I would imagine that with a scope, it would probably go more like 1.5 inches, because the gun has every reason in the world to be accurate. You have a solid action here. Like I said, these open sights are a little bit crude, but I would say that is excellent accuracy. If I were going to shoot the gun, if it was my gun, I would certainly move the sights a little bit to the right, but I tell you, I think it would be useful on deer out to 150 or maybe even as far as 200 yards with the proper bullet and proper load. And of course then, up close, you have the option of a huge variation in 12-gauge loads from slugs to buckshot. It's just a super combination. If your target is a long way off, you can certainly excellent chance of hitting it. However, if it manages to get a little closer, you've still got your shotgun barrel, and if that cougar or wild hog or whatever else, if you run out of bullets, will go for your handgun.
And now we want to recognize our support group. We have Steadcraft, a custom machine shop in Torrington, Connecticut. Their number is area 860-496-7001. We have our friend Dennis Crocker, who is a firearms instructor in South Carolina, authorized to go throughout the state. Dennis's number is area 864-587-8722. We have Dennis and Jeannie Ritchie with Custom Leatherwork and Saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana. Their number is area 504-667-9225. And Camouflage Technologies, they paint gun stocks. You can reach them at area 909-674-6488. And if you want to see some great artwork on the internet, you can go to Flying Horse Galleries. Their location is www.flyinghorse.net. And our friend Bruce Warren in East Leroy, Michigan, he has BC Armory, works on pistols and revolvers. His number is area 616-729-5508. We also want to recognize someone new in our support group, the Little River Trading Company. They have all sorts of Confederate Civil War memorabilia. You can contact them at area 502-522-6167. And we want to recognize Wolf Gun Springs. They have springs for every imaginable firearm. Certainly you can give them a call and get a catalog from them. A lot of us need their catalog. Certainly be helpful for us. Their number is 1-800-545-0077. Now, friends, we're just about out of time on today's program. We want to thank everyone for being with us. If we're on next week, we'll be back on G6 Channel 11. Again, back to G6 Channel 11. And please remember, even if we go off television, we'll still be on the radio on the American Freedom Network on Sundays from noon to 2 o'clock Eastern Time on SpaceNet 4, Channel 19, 5.82 audio. Friends, we're hoping for the best here. If you can help us on our cartridge or help us stay on the air, please do. We hope to see you on the next program. It's been a great 8 years doing this, and we hope we can continue. Thanks for being with us today.